In 1994, when I saw Moe Norman hit a golf ball for the very first time in person, I saw pure technique because I understood swing plane. I understood that the goal was to get the path of the club correct and the club face correct and send the ball towards our target. I understood that. But I also understood that all the things I had learned from a conventional perspective need to be questioned. And that's exactly what I saw with Moe Norman is what I thought at the time was unconventional, which today I believe is the way everybody should swing a golf club. Why is that? Because it should be based not in not in the conventional idea of things like we must have our shoulders square, we must have our feet square, we must have our hands grip the club first. All these things you've learned conventionally, I think, need to be thrown out the window. When I saw Moe Norman hit that golf ball for the first time, what most people considered idiosyncratic, I saw as biophysical and biomechanical perfection. And that's why I teach it today, because it's based in biophysics. Not once did Moe Norman ever tell me to square my feet. Not once did he ever say square the shoulders. But he did say aim the face and align yourself and orient to the target. I think we have to start looking at biophysics. We're going to take a look at a video today of Tiger Woods from a top view. I found this on the internet. It's a fascinating view of Tiger's swing. We're going to look at what's happening during a swing from a biophysics perspective. Is his alignment really staying in place when he hits a golf ball? What's really happening? And maybe we're going to see more about Moe's swing from a top view as well to show you how Moe had it right. Hey, if you're loving the single plane swing and you want to finally convert your complicated conventional swing to a simple single plane swing, I have something for you. I created a single plane conversion guide. You need to go to gravesgolf.com/convert and download your free guide. There's some videos in there too, and I'm going to help you finally have a great single plane experience. Welcome to the channel. I found a really interesting video that somebody posted on Instagram, I believe, and I think it's fascinating to look at the biophysics of the golf swing because there's so much that I learned from watching good players hit a golf ball, but also there's angles that we don't often get to see. And when you see these angles, there's some really fascinating things that you can discover just from the biophysics, which is something that is really hard to perceive with video, and we make a lot of assumptions. And there's things about this particular video I want you to notice, and this is actually a top view of Tiger Woods swinging a driver. And what's so fascinating about this, and it's stuff I've been talking about within the realm of Moe Norman's golf swing, when it comes to the concept of the braking system, how the body slows itself down, and how important it is, but how does it actually accomplish through biophysics during the golf swing. So let me just kind of back up a step and kind of tell you what you're going to see in this video and what the perspective is here. When we discuss Moe's swing, which you're going to see right here on Moe Norman's golf swing, there's some very interesting things that people question about Moe's swing. One of the things is obviously the spacing from the golf ball. If you look at Moe at address, people see this reaching of the arms, even though my many discussions with Moe, he did not consider himself reaching his arms towards the golf ball. He actually says he was lining things up like a pendulum. He actually felt like the club was underneath his body, so he didn't ever feel reaching for it. But you can see that from the forward bend of his body. You see he's not really reaching for it. He's just aligning the club with the arms. But the thing that you notice that's most noticeable is this space he has from obviously his toe line to the golf ball. There's this more space, and people say, well, I'm really reaching for the golf ball, and that's not necessarily the case. But that's the first thing you actually perceive and you see is this alignment of the club and arm. We call it the single plane. Now, my contention, obviously, is that this is the most effective, easiest way to accomplish hitting a ball on the ground with a stick. This is actually just biophysics. If you're going to hit that golf ball, why not start the club on the exact same plane that you're going to impact? That's what Moe was doing here. But here's what's fascinating here when you actually look at the alignment of his feet. Because when he was hitting a driver in a 3-wood, some of the longer clubs, you would see his trail foot dropped back. And many people say, well, this is because he's aimed to the right or he's pulling the golf ball. But let's get honest about this. You know, we have this perception that there's this perfect feet alignment versus shoulder alignment. And I've been saying that we have this wrong. We have it wrong on how we're trying to line up the body. The shoulders lining up straight and the feet lining up straight, all this stuff is really nonsense when it comes to biophysics. You're hitting a ball on the ground with a stick, and the goal is to get the path of the club and the club face in the proper order to send the ball towards your target. Really, it's all that matters is path and face. How the body aligns itself can be important, but it's more of the joints of the body and positioning the body to get the proper path and face. Not one time did Moe Norman ever talk about his feet alignment. Never once. He talked about club face alignment, he talked about orientation, but he never once talked to me about where his feet were lined up. And there's a reason for that. So you're looking at Moe, and you see his feet are lined up to the right. However, if you look at this video here, he's hitting an iron, and his feet are more aligned to the left. So there's a radius of the feet. In either case, he's able to get the club on path and the face square. There is biophysics to this. There's for example, you don't want the feet, what people would say, closed and trying to hit an iron. And it's all based on the club you're hitting. It's all based on the loft and the length of the club, and very interesting factors here. We can get into all that in other videos. My point here is that we have to throw out this conventional idea of squareness. Square feet, square shoulders. It doesn't exist. It shouldn't exist. But it's maybe really screwing you up if you're considering that stuff. What you need to consider is what's the biophysics of how I'm aligning this anatomy in a particular way to get the club face square and get the path of the club correctly. That's really all that matters in the golf swing. Moe figured this out. Ben Hogan figured this out. Great ball strikers figured this out. But here's an interesting video, and I want you to see this video. Top view of Tiger Woods hitting a driver. What you see in this, and we're going to talk biophysics too, watch when Tiger's coming down into impact, and then he's striking the golf ball. And I'm going to pull the video up here, and you're going to see this. So Tiger's taking the club back. First of all, look at his feet alignment. The trail foot is braced in a braced position, straight out. The lead foot is slightly rotated. So this is the recommended foot position I recommend. I think this is great. He's going to brace against the trail leg. The foot's not too far turned in. It's in a braced position where it can stop the leg. And look at the lead foot. It's anticipating a rotation, which, by the way, this is why he damaged his knee. He needed more rotation in the foot when he was younger. He has some of it now. When he takes the club back, that lead knee is coming in because of his foot rotation. So his knee comes in. Look at the brace against that trail foot. But this is what I want you to see in this video. And this is what I love when we're talking biophysics. He's transitioning, obviously very powerful. Look at that lower body move. I love it. And then watch his trail foot here. You know, people talk about these ground forces. I just can't. It just blows my mind that people get so concerned about jumping when they're hitting a golf ball. But watch what this trail foot does. He's approaching impact now. Watch the trail foot. Look at, it's literally moving back away from the golf ball. I'm going to say 6 to 8 inches. So he's spatially moving away from the ball. Even his lead foot. Watch his lead foot. It's moving, I'm going to say, a good 4 or 5 inches away from its position as it rotates slightly. So he is creating space. The body is moving away. That's the first thing I want you to notice. I want you to notice that when he gets through impact here, notice how if you said toe line, and look, I don't even say this, but look at the toe line. If you're looking at that as your squareness approach, it's now closed. He has pulled his foot backwards more than his lead foot, and he has closed his feet. I don't even like to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway, because that's what the terminology that tends to get used. So he's closed his feet. Now, but by the way, this is where Moe started the golf swing. If you look at Moe's position, he started here. See, this is what I've been saying about Moe's swing, is that he simplified the golf swing. Every aspect of his biophysics was simplification. Tiger, I mean, I'm not going to take away Tiger's amazing talent. And look at this is incredible athleticism. I mean, you got to love how great this is. However, it's biophysics. And keep in mind that this is all biophysics. I'm not talking about things that, I'm talking about the human body hitting a golf ball, whether it's Tiger or you or me or Moe or anybody. There's biophysics that have to happen. He's producing rotational energy in the body, rotational speed. He's moving the sequence of events, the pelvis, torso, arms, hands, club, for club head speed velocity. So he's moving in the correct order. And I just want you to see what his body position is accomplishing to do this. And you see this leg move back. Look at this trail leg move back. Look how much it goes. It's a ton of movement. I would say that's close to 6 to 8 inches of movement away from the golf ball. Now, look at this for just a second. The leg has moved in an internal rotation fashion. In other words, the hip is turning, but his leg is moving back. If you actually stand out of your chair and do this, you have to move the leg internally. You have to engage the internal part of the leg. You can't just spin out the hips. So his hips are turning, but he's moving internally, which slows them down. This is how he's getting the deceleration of the pelvis into the ball. But this video is fascinating to me because it's not only validating the things that I saw Moe doing in his swing. Moe figured it out much earlier on in the swing motion. Moe figured out that if he created this space, he didn't need to move backwards. And if he set the leg back at address, especially when hitting a driver because the ball was so far forward, when he set the leg back, he already had it internally positioned. Does that make sense? So again, let me just kind of rephrase this. You would consider Tiger's initial stance here at address to be square. His toes aligned to his target line. Let's just assume that he's lined up to his target line. This is what we teach, square position. I want you to look at his shoulder position. It's open. Look at his shoulder. It's open. By no means is his shoulder position square. All right, so I want to throw this whole squareness stuff out the window. It's screwing you up so bad that you're trying to get your body lined up in these alignments. You need to be learning how to position the body for motion and to get a path and face correct. Okay, so we have Tiger here, and his feet are in a aligned position here at address. And then when he finally gets to impact, as he swings that club from an inside path, here it comes from an inside path, he moves into the leg internally rotates, it slows the body down, he creates space with the body, the feet create space, he moves away from the ball and creates the space as he slows his pelvis down with that internal rotation of that trail leg, as he braces against that lead foot that's already rotated. It's biophysics here. And that's my point is Moe figured this stuff out. And this is why guys like Tiger looked at Moe and said, he owns his swing. He's one of the greatest ball strikers. Tiger recognized Moe as one of the greatest ball strikers that ever lived, as did many other players, because Moe first of all, he created the space early on. He created the space at address. He didn't need to jump away or move away from the golf ball coming into impact. He already had the foot placed back, creating the position for internal rotation. In other words, he didn't have to produce it. He already had it in a position to do so. This is why I always tell people the positions really matter. Your positions of your body create your ability to produce the stability in the braking system, and then when you have the positions correct, you build the motion around these positions, and you're able to move in a kinematic sequence, get in the proper order, add sequence, add speed because of those positions. So I wanted to just kind of point this out. Very fun to look at this stuff. I love when people post videos like this because it lets me look at this biophysics of it and see the stuff that's happening. Again, you see Tiger here with his foot. Look at that foot. It's internally rotated. Let's take a look at Moe real quick. As Moe swings through the ball, I have a top view of Moe as well. He has the foot position in the right position. And look, he doesn't have to scoot away from the ball. He has that internal rotation of the trail foot and the leg as he swings through the ball. So again, some fascinating stuff here when you start looking at biophysics. I want to bring up one more thing as you look at this video. You notice how, I just mentioned a second ago, how Tiger's shoulders are open, right? Tiger's shoulders are open. This is why when you look at Moe, he placed the club behind the ball, he aligned it with his lead arm, and the club immediately went back inside to the plane. You see, this is why Moe did it, because if you look at Tiger's shoulders here, he's rotationally going to take the club to the outside. He's not, in other words, he cannot be on the same shoulder path going back as he can coming down. This is why Moe figured it out. Moe basically tilted and positioned his right shoulder into the turn, so he didn't have the problem of taking the club outside. What you see right here, Tiger's open. He's open. I bet you Tiger's open close to 20, almost 15 to 18 degrees just in shoulder rotation here to start with. And Moe was not. With his front of his shoulders, he was lined up. His right shoulder was back to the plane. His torso was still slightly open, by the way, but his front of his shoulders were not. He could take the right shoulder back on plane. So again, looking at Tiger's right shoulder position here, it's really going to move to the outside. He's going to have to move it way back to begin with. Moe solved this problem as well. Take a look at Moe's swing. It's biophysics and it's perfection, and Moe figured this stuff out. Where guys like Tiger figured it out too. They just do it in a much more complicated way. I hope you see some of the validity of the biophysics of this. Fun to look at these videos. I'll see you in the next video. Talk to you soon. Hey, if you're loving the single plane swing and you want to finally convert your complicated conventional swing to a simple single plane swing, I have something for you. I created a single plane conversion guide. You need to go to gravesgolf.com/convert and download your free guide. There's some videos in there too, and I'm going to help you finally have a great single plane experience.